Hey, what's up, man? I am honored that you chose to hop in here. We're going to get right started. Just kind of want to explain to you in this video how I've helped countless men. I've been a pastor for 10 years. I've been married as well for 10 years. I got three beautiful daughters, and I want to walk with you through sort of the steps that I take a man through when it comes to restoring the marriage, winning back his wife. Now, before we even get started, it's really important to know that I'm biased. Okay, so I'm not for everyone. I believe that God should be at the center of every man. And if God is not at the center, then we're in trouble. So I'm going to lean with that in mind that Christ should be at the center of every man. I believe that every man believes and knows that there's more in them and they need to do more. They need to become the man God's called them to be. But if you're honest with yourself and you look yourself in the mirror, you're going to recognize that there's cracks that's caused you to be where you're at. So here's who this video is for. Okay. This video is for a man that is losing his wife. All right. And in the next couple of minutes, I'm going to explain to you why you're doing that and how to get out of that and how it, for some cases, I always believe that there's a way out. I've seen men, your wife filed, it's at the brink. It's pretty much done. She moves out. A couple months later, you guys lean back in. Okay. So, but I want to find you. This is my hope. If I can find you, if this is your wife and this is, divorce or filing, I'd like to find you right here, right in this area. This is you. Now, there are some guys, you're right here, and this is you. Now, if your wife is saying she wants divorce, I need you to just understand this. It's gonna take a while, months, could even take a year if she ever wants to lean back in. Now, depending on what you've done or what she's done, if there's cheating, infidelity, this right here is gonna take much longer. Now, if you're here, we can avoid that and you can actually see results much quicker. So just wanted to be honest with you. You're gonna hear a lot of different coaches out there that say, "Oh man, I'm gonna guarantee you we're gonna get your wife back." But if she's filed for a divorce, if she's moved out, if she's not communicating with you, if she's filed a restraining order against you, this is going to take time. Okay. Now, if you're right here and she's saying you need to change, you need to work on yourself, you need to do it. Let me give you an example. I'm coaching a man right now. This is his wife a month ago. Okay. She said, "You tell me every time that, and you still don't change. So I don't believe you." So there's no more belief. He is continuing to do things that show I don't believe you. And then she says, "It's really sad, but us separating, I think, is the only thing that you may have a chance to affect you enough to want to change." What she's describing is crisis creates change. She is creating a crisis for her husband with the hope that he would wake up. And honestly, that's what your wife's doing right now. She's creating a crisis. Now, remember, if you're here, oh man, there's so much. If she's saying, "I want marriage counseling," you need to change. She's still in the home. She hasn't filed for divorce. She hasn't said it's time to get out. It's time for you to leave. She hasn't even got there yet. Now, for some of you, that was you maybe 2 months, 3 months, 5 months, a year ago, and your wife was telling you, and guys tell me all the time, "I wish I would have listened." Well, you didn't, and now she's filed for divorce because there was no belief. She didn't see the changes. She thought this crisis would create change, but there's no change. So then she goes on to say, "All the other times you stopped drinking, you did it because I told you." She had to mother him. And no woman wants to sleep with her son, right? If we're just being honest. You never did it for yourself. You never did it for your kids. You never did it to get healthy. You did it because you were forced, and that's exactly why you're back to drinking again. You need to really figure out what you want in life and what matters to you and what comes and come to terms with yourself and where you're at right now and where you want to be in the future and what's going to take you to get there. I wish I could have found this guy right after she sent this text message. We started coaching. She sent this 2 months ago. To this date, as this video is being recorded, she sent this 2 months ago. Now, this is what she did. Now she's threatening divorce. Now she's saying, you know what? The house is in my name. You're going to move out. I'm done with you. Something's changed. He's like, something's changed. I don't know what's going on. And it sucks. That tells me, gosh, if I would have found him here, this would have been resolved so much quicker. Now we're here. We got a lot of work to do. Okay. So if your wife is telling you, please change, I'm tired of this, I need you to move with action. Your marriage depends on it. Your livelihood of your future, if you really care about your children, if you have children, if you care about your future, like it matters. Do something. Your wife is literally asking you, so she's going to create a crisis. If you don't change, if you don't move, you're going to find yourself where she's like, you know what, I'm done. I filed. I'm over this, right? Because there was no belief, there was no change, there was no action, right? And now you're where you're at. Okay? But there's good news, man. There's good news. The good news is you're listening to this and you want to take action. Regardless of where she's at, of where you're at right here, you're going to lose your wife if you don't do anything. Okay? Now, I can't promise you if your wife is filed for divorce, if she has moved out, I can't promise you we're going to get her back. It's possible. I've seen it happen. It can happen, but remember this. God will not force your wife to come back. God won't even do that. There are consequences to actions. There's consequences to our sin. Now, if you're here, we can get her back much quicker, especially if she's wanting counseling or if she's wanting to work on things. I can help you. Now, let me show you what we do. This is what we do. I call it the stop method. Okay? Let me go ahead and do this now. Just going to erase all this. It's the stop method. Okay? Just remember, it's very simple. Stop. S-T-O-P. The first thing we're going to do is I need you to stop chasing her. Okay? I need you to stop being clingy. I need you to stop reaching out to her. I need you to stop. Let me give you an example. Sam, what do you mean? Got it. It's called being an emotional leech. When you're an emotional leech, this is what it looks like. You're the woman I want and I love and I care and I'm not, I may not have everything lined up yet, but imagine we haven't been together for a bit, okay? Emotional leech. She doesn't want to hear that. I try every day to make you happy, but not buying you things, but trying to be there. I'm not deserved. It was never just about sex. It was way more than that. You're a smart girl. I love you. Okay. If you do this, what I call emotional leech, this is why you got to stop being this guy. This is why you stop. You're losing yourself. She is not attracted in you when you do this. Okay. Emotional leech. Do not be an emotional leech. If there's anything that's going to push your wife further away, when the crisis comes, she's brought the crisis to you. She's being reserved. She's pulling back. Here's what we do. We jump off our emotions and we let our emotions lead us. Okay? Just don't do that. Stop. Stop doing it. Now, if you do that, here's the outcome. You want to see the outcome? The outcome is she says this. You're not trying to. He's saying, I'm trying every day to make it work. You're not trying to. None of this means anything to me. You're forcing me to see something temporary. Stop this. Stop. She's saying, stop. I'm living a nightmare. I want peace. I want you to leave me alone. Take accountability. Wow. And leave me alone. Understand that I have feelings too, and you hurt me like no one else. And if you continue to not, this guy kept doing it, by the way. He kept doing this. until I got a hold of him. We started working together and he stopped that. And I encouraged him to create a text with her to let her know how we're going to stop doing this. Okay. But if you keep doing this, she's going to keep moving further and further and further away. So, very simple, man. Stop. Stop chasing her. Here's the next one: tough and tender. If you're unhealthy, which odds are you are, or else you wouldn't be in this place, and I say that with love, but if you're unhealthy, toughness turns to toxicity, anger, rage, or it might not be toxicity. Tenderness turns into weakness. Now, the goal is to be tough and tender. That's the goal. As a healthy man, you want to be both tough, meaning you're strong, you're the protector of the home, you're the priest of the home, you give guidance, you're the leader of the home. There's a confidence to you. Now, if you're not doing any of those things, then that tells me you're more tender. Nothing wrong with tenderness, but the tenderness has turned to weakness. The toughness will turn to being toxic. Okay? A woman does not want to be married to a man who's toxic. That's abusive, if we're being honest. And she does not want to be married to a weak man. She wants to be married to both a tough and a tender man. He shows his heart, he's honest, he's real, he's vulnerable. Vulnerable. There's a way to be vulnerable. I'm very vulnerable with my wife. I'm just not weak. Weakness is like, I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. You're walking around the house, chasing her room to room, begging her, pleading with her. I've coached men that do this. I've walked with men that do this. I've counseled men that do this. It will push your wife further and further and further away. But the reason you're doing this, and I get it, is because your emotions are high. She's bringing up separation. Maybe she's moved to the other room. Maybe she's told you to move. Maybe you cheated on her. Maybe you emotionally text another woman. Maybe you did something. Maybe the alcohol got the best of you and you lied. Maybe she caught you with lies. There's so many things, but remember, you did this. You pushed her away. The opposite could be true, and she might be doing this as well. We still will approach this with tough and tenderness. That's a complete different angle, but I still can help you. In fact, if your wife is doing that, we actually can wake her up much quicker. But she's woken you up to the reality of the things that you've done, okay? That's the T, all right? So we've said stop chasing her, take on toughness and tenderness, don't be weak, right? The next one is order over chaos. All right? Let's talk about this. Order over chaos. What do I mean by that? When we're talking about order over chaos, an empowered man, brings order. A healthy man brings order. A God-fearing man brings order. You're leading the home. You're not creating more chaos. Okay? Now, when this guy that was texting, his wife was texting, she's saying, you're drinking, you're lying, you're doing all this stuff. He's creating more chaos for the family. He's creating more issues for the family. You can't do that right now. When you create more chaos, it's going to just be a ripple effect. We need you to create order. We need to get a hold of you. Okay. Now, how do we do this? How do we get away from chaos into order? The way that we do this, I would argue, is the P, STOP. This is the big piece. This is the part that men are like, yeah, really, like, I don't know. This is the part that she was saying in this text right here. You did this for me. You didn't do it for you. A wife wants to see that her husband's changing not because of him or not because of her, but because he wants to become a better man. That's more attractive. There's a confidence there. There's an authority there. That there's an attractiveness there. But if you're just doing it for her, watch this. She becomes an idol. What do I mean by that? You're worshiping her. You're worshiping her. You know what an idol is? It's placing anything above God. God should be here. But you know what you've put there? Her. or your job or an addiction or golf. Like, I don't know, anything, man. You've put it where God should have been, and now God's not first. And now that God's not first, chaos, chaos in the home, chaos in the marriage, chaos with your children. You're not awake. You're not present. You're not in front because there's something else that's above God, and that's called idolatry. It's called idol worship. Now, watch this, man. If you can cheat on God, because that's cheating on God, that's putting someone else in front of God, you can cheat on your wife. If you can cheat on God, you can cheat on someone else. If you can cheat on God, sexual sin runs rampant in the family and in you. Odds are, maybe your dad did that. Maybe your mom did that. Maybe your grandpa did that. We talk about generational patterns when we work through this, but we got to look at you. This is the P. This is personal empowerment. Now, this is where we look at you. This is where we work on you. This is where we talk about your wounds. Why are you an emotional leech? There's a reason. What lies do you tell yourself? The Bible says that the devil's a liar. Jesus says this, he's a liar. And when he speaks his native language and is to lie. So right now, if you're in a crisis, you're listening to the lies. If you're isolated, if you're alone, you're listening to the lies. You're not good enough. If a man doesn't believe he's good enough, he'll never be good enough for his wife. But it's not the wife's problem, it's his problem because he hasn't found healing on it. Because maybe you don't feel like you should go to, counseling or therapy. I'm not opposed to therapy. But it's a lot of like, oh, tell me how you feel. No, with me, okay, you feel that way? Your soul, your emotions are a dashboard to your soul. Okay, I understand you feel that way. Let's work on it now. Let's address the lie. Let's address why you feel like you don't feel loved. Why you feel like you're not good enough. Why do you feel like you're dirty? Why do you feel like you don't belong? Why do you feel like you're not seen? Why are you so afraid? Here's the question I would ask you. What do you fear? If you're afraid of being alone, if you're afraid of your wife leaving you, that tells me there's a lie, there's a core memory in your life where someone left you. Mom and dad weren't there. Maybe they got a divorce, dad left. Maybe you didn't even have a father. If you didn't have a father, there's wounds that come from fathers. If you didn't have a mom that was nurturing, there's wounds. I have men tell me, this first question I ask, hey, talk to me about mom and dad. Oh, yeah, things are good. Did you ever hear from your dad, son, I'm proud of you, son, I love you? I've had grown men tell me, never once have I heard my dad say that. Never once have I heard my mom say that. Do you understand now why working on you, focusing on you, here's the game changer. Well, Sam, I want to get my wife back. I want to get my marriage back. Of course you do. But first, you got to get you back. You got to get you back. You don't want to do it just for your wife. Idol worship, putting her above God. You want to do this for you. You want to focus on you. So, how do you do that? Well, we need to focus on your weaknesses and your strengths. We need to focus on the lies. You need to find healing. And where I'm different is I'm a pastor. I've been walking with men for years. Every man struggles with some of the same, we all got the same emotions. It's just come from different places. If you're afraid, if you're worried, if you're walking around, if you're tough, if you're tough, it turns into toxic. We will work on the toxicity. If you're weak, we work on the weakness. Why are you weak? Why aren't you walking in confidence with your wife? Why are you not leading your wife? Why are you not showing up for your wife? Because we got to talk about you. But remember this. It's very simple. Change isn't change until something changes. All right? You can tell your wife you're going to change all day. She's heard it too many times. Yeah, you say you're going to change, but there's no change that's happening. There's no action. You haven't worked on you. You haven't focused on the things you got to work on. If you work on you and you find healing, it's going to benefit your marriage. But remember, I don't know where you're at. Has she filed? Or has she just said, man, you need to change? What you do in this phase, or even in the divorce phase, I need you to understand this. It can make or break the marriage. What you do right now, if you're watching this video, you're in a crisis. Either she's saying you need to change or she's threatening you with divorce. Please, if she's saying you need to change, please don't get it to divorce, man. Let's work on this now. If she said, divorce, she hasn't filed yet, I can still work with you. If she's filed, I need you to know if she's filed, I'm going to be brutally honest with you. This might not be a good fit because we're just going to focus on you. If you can still communicate to her, great. We're going to communicate. But I just need you to know, regardless, I want you to get here. Hey, Sam, I just wanted to reach out to let you know that things have been really good with my wife. We've talked about a lot. I've been good at controlling my emotions and being tough and tender. There it is. Order over chaos. We both acknowledge that there is still more work to get done where we want to be. Beautiful. We've both acknowledged that she's on the same page. She is saying and doing the right things. I mentioned to her that I've been talking to you and you've been helping me work through everything, but not talking to you herself. But not about talking to you herself. There may be time for that because the beautiful thing, especially if she's here, and she said, she has literally, she might have told you, let's do marriage counseling. We need marriage counseling. I think we need marriage counseling. If she's ever said that, first, before you go into marriage counseling, let's work on you. Why are you saying that, Pastor? Well, because if we go into marriage counseling off the bat, you're just going to fight. You're just going to argue because wounds are going to come up and we haven't focused on you yet. But when you come to grips with who you are, when you take responsibility for your own actions, when you begin to take accountability, then we get together with your wife. Oh, so much better. I can't tell you countless times over after over. I've walked with men first, then the wife comes in, beautiful. Just don't let it get to this place, man. All right. So let's recap. STOP. Stop being an emotional leech. Pretty simple, right? If you're texting her, if you're harassing her, if you can ask yourself, am I following her around the house, begging her, pleading with her? Just stop doing that. Some guys say, don't talk to her at all. Nope, don't do that. Especially if you're still in the home. Why would you just ghost her? She's going to think you want nothing to do with her. All right. Now, I know there's a lot of guys out there that they got their different perspective. I'm going to approach it with health and honor. Okay. Because we're trying to win your wife back. We're trying to honor and respect your wife. Okay. First thing, stop. Next thing, are you toxic or are you weak? Address it. Find it. Do the opposite of it. Become a man that's tough and tender. Become a man that doesn't allow your wife to walk all over you. But how do you respond in a loving way? How do you respond in an honoring way? Do not be toxic. Do not be weak. The next, bring order in the midst of chaos. It's kind of like the overarching theme. The more chaos you bring, the more fires you create, the more issues that you bring, you brought it. That is not order, and a woman and a family will thrive in an environment of order. Because odds are, if you have children, they're feeling this. Doesn't matter how old they are. They're feeling the chaos. And the last, which is the most important, is personal empowerment. You focus on you. You get healthy with you, and your marriage will benefit, and your children will benefit, and every person around you will benefit. When a man is healed, he can heal others. Obviously, God healed you. You'll be able to see others and bring healing to them. All right. So I hope this helped you, man. I really do. I hope this is encouraging to you. Here's what I ask of you. If you're serious about wanting more, counseling or coaching, you want to walk together, you want to take the next steps and saying, yeah, I'm right here. She's saying she wants change. She's saying I need to change. I'm right here, man. I just need you to DM me on IG. Next steps. Next steps. That's it. Here it is. Next steps. And we'll take the next step together. Okay? I just need to know if you're serious about this and you want to take the next step. If not, all good. And I hope this helps you. And I hope this resource was helpful. I hope this brought perspective to you. Next steps, if you want to take this to the next level, if you want to get help, if you want to get counseling and coaching, we'll have that conversation. We'll move forward. All right. God bless you, man. Hey, You can do it. Don't give up on your family. Walk with God, keep Him first, and see how He'll change your life. All right. God bless you, and I'll see you on the other side.